Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames, and in this video we're gonna talk about T.I. and Tiny sued by Air Force veteran who claims the couple drugged and essayed her. Now, even though I'm a woman, I can be honest and I can say that going through the details of this lawsuit, not because I'm a woman, I'm going to say this happened to this veteran. I believe it was a third situation. And because people are aware that money has been issuing out, many people are trying to get a quick paycheck. This is what I believe is going on here because we all know T.I. and Tiny, they're swingers. And T.I. has already told the world that they love what they love, right? I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say Tiny's perfect. And I don't know this woman. But while I can believe that a man would do certain things, and I do believe that women do these things to women, right? But after examining the details, it's not meshing, it's not adding up. And I went around, and I've looked at the pages that have been sharing this story, and I wasn't alone. I believe that it is safe to say 99% of the people on the internet who interacted with the pages that shared this story also does not believe this woman. Everyone believes it's a third situation that this lady was paid for, and she's just trying to get a quick paycheck. Let's talk about it, shall we? So guys, this Air Force veteran chose to go by Jane Doe, right? What she's saying is that back in 2005, she basically, went to a club. The connection, based on what the report is saying, the connection was made through a man by the name of Caviar, who has connections with T.I. and Tiny. I want you guys to listen to this detail, right? Because this is given the sense that this woman, honestly, I'm going to be very honest, it's given the sense that this woman basically was recruited, for a third, and Caviar was the connection. Like, Caviar is that person that scouts these young, beautiful lady for T.I. and Tiny, right? So she said that she was around 22 or 23 and stationed in Los Angeles. So you're telling me that in 2005, you don't know if you're 22 or 23? Come on. You have to know in 2005 if you were 22 or 23. So the information right there from the get-go is off for me because I like to pay attention to details, right? Let's continue. So she's saying that she was stationed in Los Angeles when she attended a party at Coolio's house, and she met Caviar, who works for T.I. and Tiny. The man goes by the name of Caviar. That's not his government name from what I'm understanding, right? Now, while she was at the party, she was brought to the VIP section, right, where all the famous people were hanging out. T.I. and Tiny was there, and she was brought directly to T.I. and Tiny. Why were you brought directly to T.I. and Tiny? Do they have a modeling agency? Do they have a company that you would want to work for? Are they music executives, music producer? Are you an artist? So why were you brought to T.I. and Tiny just out of the blue? No explanation. Is it that you were a top fan of T.I., Tiny, or a combination? Do you love T.I. and Tiny family dynamics? Why were you brought to T.I. and Tiny? So those are the things that are sticking out for me from the get-go, right? Now, she was brought to T.I. and Tiny, and she was handed a drink. Tiny handed her the drink. Now, this is in 2005. We know that you don't take drinks from people. It doesn't matter who. You don't take drinks from people. But she was handed a drink by Tiny, and she's saying that she believes the drink was Spike, right? Now, she then basically said that she was separated from her friends. So you go somewhere and you're not telling your friend that, hey, I'm going to go up to the VIP section to meet Mr. T.I. and Miss Tiny. If you guys don't see me, back in 15 minutes, you're on your own, or come look for me or something, and your friends didn't bother to look for you or anything. Like, there's so many red flags, but we know one thing for sure, and that is not everyone who we call friends are actually friends, right? So we can say, okay, that happened right there, okay? So she was separated from her friends, and she ended up in a hotel room with T.I. Tiny, and two other women who were eventually asked to leave. Now, let's stick a pin right there, because if you were at a party and then you ended up at a hotel and you reached at that hotel, outside of your wishes, it means that you were also kidnapped. So not only was this woman essayed based on the story that she's telling, she was also kidnapped. Because if you're not gonna put kidnap in the lawsuit, it's not tying together, it's not making any sense, right? Because this would be a case of kidnapping. You went to a party, you did not agree to go to anyone's hotel room, but then you find yourself in a hotel room, and it's not as though you were drunk, you couldn't get home, and they say, okay, we're gonna put you in this hotel room, here's your this, here's your that, lock the door, go sleep. That's not the case. She said that she was brought to this hotel room with T.I. and Tiny, two other women who were eventually asked to leave. The plaintiff now, which is Miss Jane Doe, the Air Force veteran, right? They're saying that, I don't even know what's going on here, okay? But they're saying the plaintiff alleges T.I., whose legal name is Clifford Harris, began issuing demands with explicit detail, like he was reciting a script. She claims Tiny stripped her naked, then entered the shower with her, right? So, Tiny entered the shower with you, or did Tiny take you into the shower? Because, again, guys, I'm the person that when I hear something, it means a lot more than that to me. Because if Tiny entered the shower with you, it means that you went and took a shower, and then Tiny came after. If someone had kidnapped you, if someone had said to you, this is not giving a say, and this is why the internet is saying that, and why I am saying that as well. Because, if she had said that Tiny, brought her into the shower and she was dizzy and all of that, she said that Tiny went into the shower with her, which is given the sense that she went to take a shower because she wanted to be fresh and clean for what she was paid to do. If I'm wrong, God forgive me, but this is not adding up. But let us continue, shall we? So she said that Tiny went into the shower with her. She was extremely dizzy and lightheaded and appeared visibly drunk. When T.I. directed her to the bed, she alleges T.I. tuned into adult content. Tiny climbed on her back, held her face down on her stomach, and that is when she was taken disadvantage of. Toes being used. I went to get a condom and all of that. she's saying that after everything happened, she eventually forced herself to get up from the bed and she threw up in the bathroom. She claimed Ti then mocked her by saying, "Are you all right? Looks like you in last place, right?" When a security guard demanded that she leave the room when Tia and Tiny purportedly were sleeping. Now, listen, I don't know all the details of this, but I mean, I believe that women who experience these cases, right? To the woman that these things do happen to, I believe that, these people need to be held accountable. And I believe these women, they deserves justice. But in this case, I honestly have to say that, I'm sorry for saying this, but I honestly have to say, based on the details that were provided, it's giving the sense of more like a bad date ending in a manner that you didn't expect it to, or a date ending, you know, in a way that you did not like or appreciate. But it's not given the sense that this is a essay situation. It's honestly not given that sense because the details are too sketchy. It could be that because it's so far out, but then again, how can you not remember what age were you at 2005? Because if you remember the year and the date that you were born, you would know you were what age at 2005. It may take you a little while to do the calculations, but like hell, you can figure out what age you were. So maybe they also did it to basically throw off people so that no one can figure out which veteran is this. But I mean, where were your friends? Why didn't your friends, alert the police to say, "Hey, we came to this party, or a friend is missing"? Why did your friends call your phone? What happened? Like, what happened? So there's so many questions, and I wish that, you know, I'm not going to say, because sometimes people do say that these essay cases are so far out, these women need to move on. And I don't think anyone can move on from trauma. I do believe that people learn how to adjust and live a day at a time, but there's no such thing as moving on from a traumatic experience. But in my opinion, this is not one of them. In my opinion, this is just a third situation that someone is trying to use as a way of getting a quick and easy paycheck. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know, what are your thoughts? While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, share if you care, and see you all later. Peace.